Hello everyone and welcome back to Carvenus 14. Now today we are going to be doing another Leg of Legends? Yes, League of Legends replay video, and today we are going to be playing Ahri. Now I have been playing Ahri ever since 2019, well effectively when I first started playing League. I'm pretty new to the League community, believe it or not. I've actually only started in 2019. So yeah, and I've been playing Ahri ever since. She is my first main. And we are going through the runes here right now. So you guys can see we are going Electrocute, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, Presence of Mind, Coup de Grace, and then AP, and Magic Resist. Now, we are against a Malzhar, so you can actually run a different rune combination if you want to. But yeah, Electrocute is really good on Ahri because, you know, she could just utilize it really, really well. Cheap Shot, most people on Ahri actually go Taste of Blood, which personally, in my opinion, I think is just wrong. Because, number one, Ahri can actually utilize Cheap Shot really well, so because of her charm, right? And yeah, it is on a low cooldown, but the thing is Ahri doesn't really need Taste of Blood either, because Ahri's ever since Ahri's rework, and even before Ahri's rework, to be fair, I was running, you know, Cheap Shot quite every single game because she didn't really need the Taste of Blood healing because of her inbuilt passive. So in my mind, it didn't really make sense to go Taste of Blood, where I could just get more damage by either going Cheap Shot or Sudden Impact. I personally prefer Cheap Shot because it's much better earlier on. So yeah, Sudden Impact does take time to scale as well. You need your level 6 in order to reliably proc it. So yeah, Eyeball Collection is always the obvious choice here. Ultimate Hunter, Ahri does actually need Ultimate Hunter because her kit kind of revolves around her ultimate even after her rework. So yeah, as for the secondary tree, most people actually go, what's it called? Mana Flow Band and Transcendence, which is actually not a bad option, but I personally prefer Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace because it just gives Ahri a lot more assassination potential and damage that way. So, yeah. And then we go, obviously, double AP and then armor. You can actually go attack speed and then adaptive force if you want to, because if you're, like, not really that good at farming early game, then attack speed can actually help. So, yeah, but then once you're good and confident at farming on Ahri, then you can most definitely go double AP because it just gives Ahri a lot more damage. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we are into a Malzhar, which is a bit of an annoying matchup for Ahri, especially because Malzhar, number one, has a spell shield, so Ahri can't really burst Malzhar down like she would any other champion. And on top of that, Malzhar does also have more range. Now, as for the summoner spells we've actually taken Flash and Barrier, guys, because I wanted... Usually, you would run Flash Ignite, but Flash Barrier in this regard is actually really strong, because, number one, you're most likely never going to get into the range of Malzhar in order to actually ult him, right? Especially, not ult him, sorry, but ignite him, especially early game. So taking Barrier as a defensive option is also really, really strong. They also have Kale and Pyke as well as Ezreal on their team, so taking Barrier into this team composition is good. I do prefer taking Barrier on Ahri over Ignite in most games because because Ahri doesn't really have a lot of early game power in order to actually kill people instantly early game. She does kind of need help from the jungler. So yeah, so her kill potential early game isn't really ridiculously powerful. So yeah, that's why I prefer taking Barrier, because it's a really good defensive option even after the nerf even after the nerf it was given after the durability update. So yeah. Well, as you can see, guys, this game, as Ahri, you do want to roam around a lot, but obviously I actually roam around a lot more than you normally would, because I knew that going into a Malzhar, it's going to be very difficult to try and do anything in mid lane, so I decide, let me just look around the map and see if I can get any kills there, and it does pay off. Like, for example, here, the Bel'Veth roams up. I did also roam up as well, because I saw the Bel'Veth go up. We flash, charm, and get the kill there. Unfortunately, I did have to flash, but honestly, it's not a big deal, because now I actually get kill gold off of that, so I'm already really strong. I don't know why I decided to back here, but I decided to stay instead because I realized I'm still full health and I've got all my mana, so I may as well just, you know, do something about that. So yeah, I head down to mid. Malzhar, the good thing about this game, though, is that Malzhar also followed our roams, but and which usually is a bad thing. But the thing is that Malzhar didn't really get much worth out of roaming with us in most of the situations. So the fact is that we both roamed, right? So we didn't actually get any XP from lane, but I actually got much more worth out of it because I got more kills, I got more assists than Malzhar does, so in the early game anyway. So I just managed to outscale the Malzhar. So yeah. Malzhar isn't really that much of a threat early game either, so I'm not really scared of him at this stage. I'm just trying to play passively in order to just farm up and, you know, do much better in the late game. Because after the rework, Ahri is definitely more of a late game champion. So she's more of a mid game, late game champion, to be honest. So yeah, like before the rework, she was definitely mid game. She would fall off quite hard towards the late game before the rework, but now she's very, very strong in the late game because of her ult resets. It really does help her. So yeah, at this point, guys, I wanted to back, but then I saw like a huge roam going down bot lane, so I was like, you know what? Let's follow up on it. Let's see if we can get another kill. Dragon was also up, so I decided to stay for that as well. And off of this roam, it was really successful because we managed to actually get a kill on the pike. So yeah, this pike actually, guys, was also really good. I do have to mention that. So yeah, Malzhar does unfortunately roam down and get a kill on our Trundle here. But we do get rid of his flash, so I guess there's that. This is a bit of an awkward position for me because I did want to go back, but obviously I was kind of forced to stay down here because our ADC was really low. I did not want our Zeri to die, especially after the reworks. She's really powerful now, so yeah. That's why I decided to stay until the support came back at least. And look at this, guys. Malzahar's also still down here. That's really good because Malzhar isn't really getting much out of staying down here as much. So, yeah, of course, he's wasting his time as well as me. So, yeah, we're both wasting our time, which means we're both in a decent position. He is, however, one level ahead of us. So there's that. And he does also have more CS. So there is that as well. However, because I'm down here and our ADC is also down here, we can actually get this. Dragon pretty easily. So yeah, it's also Mountain Soul, which is actually quite good for our top laner as well as jungler. Our top laner is a Jax, our jungler is a Trundle. So yeah. I probably should have gone through the roster earlier, guys, but yeah. On our team, we have Jax top, Trundle jungle, Ahri mid, Zeri bot, Swain ADC. So yes, our Swain is also a Swain one trick. He's also really, really good. He's near like my mastery points. I have like 200,000 mastery points on Ahri, so yeah. This, guys, is a bit of an unfortunate fight here for us because I did, as you guys saw, I did go for the charm, but unfortunately Malzahar's Voidlings actually got in the way and blocked my charm, which was really annoying there. I definitely would have been able to save our, I think it was our jungler that died. So yeah, I did also ult over to try and nab a kill on the Belveth, but obviously that was taken. But luckily it's no big problem because Malzahar's low on health, he's low on mana, he can't really do much apart from spawn a Voidling. So yeah, that was really no big deal there. And you guys can see the amount of movement speed that we actually get from our W actually did come in clutch there because we used our W, and well, we didn't use it to catch the final attack on Malzhar, but Malzahar's an immobile mage, so he can't really do much, really. I'm going 3-0, guys, as you can see here at this point. Yeah. I'm also building, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm actually building towards, not Everfrost, I'm building towards Crown of the Shattered Queen. Crown of the Shattered Queen is a really strong mythic item. In fact, I don't really see a lot of people actually build it. It's literally the perfect mythic item, especially for someone like Ahri, because it gives her literally everything. Ability power, movement speed, health, and ability haste, as well as a lot of protection. 75% reduction in damage if the crown is actually up. So yeah, it's a load of ability power. Especially late game, the passive from the Crown of Shattered Queen, if you have the crown up, it gives you 10 to 40 ability power. So late game, 40, and as well as the flat 70 ability power that it gives now. Yeah, it did get buffed in the most recent patch, 12.11. So yeah, that basically means late game, you get like 110 ability power if you have the crown up from one item, which is actually ridiculous if you think about it, yeah. Now, as you guys can see here, I'm roaming up again towards the Belveth and the Kale because they roamed up, which was a bit of a failure roam for them because we do actually get the kill on the Belveth. No, we don't. We don't get the kill on the Belveth, but we didn't lose anything at least. And once again, guys, we are also wasting the Malzahar's time once again. So, yeah. Don't worry, guys, this roam does turn out to be successful because I do get a few other kills. I saw Malzhar and I was like, nah, I can't really touch you just yet because your shield is up. But watch, wait for that shield to go down and then I'll attack you. So, yeah. Like I said, guys, I'm really not scared of Malzhar because early game, Malzahar is actually not that strong. He's more of a menace late game, so yeah. I see Trundle going in, and I'm like, all right, I'll try. I will follow up on that. So, yeah. I get a decent amount of damage off. I also see Belveth, and I did snag Belveth. You guys can see here, Malzhar does ult me, but to no avail. I have my ult dashes. Belveth has dashes, but Ahri is the dash queen, so actually, that is definitely arguable. But yeah, Ahri is the dash queen, so yeah. Belveth gets a little bit annoyed and pings the Malzhar for not doing anything when he did do something, to be fair. He ulted me, but alas, Malzhar just wasn't powerful. Why is he not powerful? Because he hasn't hit his item power spikes as much as us. I mean, we've been getting all the gold from roaming, and Malzhar really hasn't been getting that too lucky on his roam, so it really isn't his fault, to be fair. It's just that I'm a bit too good of an Ahri player. no need to brag. I'm joking. I'm not that kind of person, guys, I promise. So yeah, now that we're also up here, we actually get the Rift Herald. I see Kayle up there, and I know she hasn't backed because, well, as you can probably tell, she has no mana, so she can't really do anything. She's also low on health. I land everything there, including my charm and my W. Our Jax comes in with the assist. He told me that he wasn't trying to steal it, but, you know, who knows. So yeah, I want to back at this point, but I can't because Belveth is here again, and I'm like, man, cannot catch a break, can I? So yeah, I flash away, and this is why Barrier did actually kind of save me here, but then again, it also didn't. So yeah, I thought Belveth was going to commit a little bit harder. Yeah, you can see here Belveth is constantly just trying to go for me. I get another kill on the Belveth when I really didn't want to take that. I actually just wanted to get a charm off the Belveth, so immobilizing it for the jungler. But honestly, if I'm fed, it's really not a bad thing, because if a fed Ahri is actually a very scary Ahri, so yeah. I'm going 6-0, guys, and yes, Malzhar is beating me in the farm game. He has more than half of my farm, well, just about half of my farm. But the thing is that I have gotten 6 kills. I'm on a huge fat bounty, so I shouldn't really give it to anyone. Unfortunately, that does happen, but it isn't the worst case scenario because, well, you'll be able to see why. So, yeah. Yeah, so our roams have just been really successful here. Unfortunately, Malzhar has been able to get some turret platings off, so he isn't really as far behind as I would have wanted him to, but it is what it is. Also, Malzhar annoyingly is really good at he's really good at getting rid of Ahri's crown, or crown in general, because of his voidlings, so yeah. It's really annoying. Belveth was just standing there. I do feel kind of bad for spooking her, but it looks like she came back online at some point. Yeah. She smited. She dashed towards me or dashed away, I don't know. I probably could have autoed her there instead. Yeah. Malzhar is signaling that I am missing. I could have jumped over the wall here, but I didn't actually know where they were, and then I saw them. So I warded over because I felt like I wanted to try and assassinate them under the tower if they were low. But yeah, we roamed down here. Didn't manage to get the pike. He was just a bit too fast for us. So yeah, we kind of leave that, head off to Dragon. So, yeah, honestly, guys, this is a very good Ahri game right now. Our roams have been really, really strong. We have been capitalizing on these winnings a lot. So, yeah, I did want to go for Malzhar, but it looks like our jungler had different plans, and Malzhar also had his spell shield up, so I kind of decided against it. I did get rid of the spell shield, but it didn't really do much damage. So, yeah. And then our jungler wanted to go in, but Malzhar just does a load of damage. You can see, even if he is behind us right now, he still does a really mad amount of damage. So, yeah. I didn't want to stay, because obviously, guys, I was sitting on like a 600 gold bounty or something like that. I had a huge fat bounty on me, so, yeah. I had a 700 gold bounty, so yeah, I'm going 7-0 at this point, guys. Unfortunately, I do die like 3 times in this game, which is kind of sad. But yeah, we get Sorcerer Shoes, which is another really good power spike for Ahri. So yeah, not a lot of people actually like to go for the magic penetration route on Ahri nowadays because of the durability update. A lot of people think that going the Liandry's build is actually much better now, which it is, but Liandry's actually did get nerfed this patch, so yeah, and Crown did actually get buffed, so honestly, it's not that bad, really. His Voidling got me again, and that does annoy me a little bit. The fact that Malzhar can just do that is kind of annoying. I mean, he is an anti-carry at the end of the day, so yeah. Now, I am roaming up, guys, because I thought that Belveth was actually going up towards our top laner, because he's pretty pushed far ahead. Kayle is also heading towards the lane, so I thought that, maybe Belveth was going up there, but it turns out she wasn't, so yeah. Our jungler also does have Rift, places it mid, because I did definitely need it mid, because, just to place a little bit more pressure. We don't actually get the turret here, because the turret is all full health, and I haven't really been attacking the turret, but it is a decent amount of damage. Annoyingly, Pyke is here to try and to help stop that, so yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but we do get a decent amount of damage off. So it isn't honestly a bad rift. If anything, it just puts a lot more pressure on the map now. So yeah, this allows me to roam around a lot more, get more kill participation, kill pressure as well. So yeah, it's not really a bad thing, to be honest. I do follow the roam down with Malzhar as well as Pike because I can kind of see where they were going with the ADC. Our ADC does unfortunately die here. I die here as well as the Swain. So yeah, it's a little bit sad because my bounty does go away, my huge fat 700 gold bounty. And annoyingly, my charm did miss. I might have been able to kill the Pike there if that was the case. I also did get suppressed. Yeah, you guys can see here that, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate. Pike did get my kill, to be fair. He did get my shutdown, so honestly, Pike getting my kill really isn't that bad. So honestly, I would rather Pike get my kill rather than Ezreal or Malzhar, because Malzhar would just get much stronger, especially the fact that he's an anti-carry. So he's just going to be relevant late game as well, because of the fact that he is just an anti-carry. He is just that. So yeah, I would rather my bounty go to Pike, especially because he does fall off late game as well. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, I am now working my way towards the next item, which is Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is a really strong item on Ahri, guys, because number one, well, on any character really, because number one, it gives you 100 ability power. Number two, it gives you 200 health, so survivability. Number three, it gives you magic penetration. So yeah, especially with the fact that, you know, it may not be the best item to go on Ahri nowadays, but, you know, the fact that it gives you 100 ability power is really good because it just helps Ahri's healing passive a lot. So yeah, because Ahri's healing passive actually scales with her AP, and it has been nerfed, unfortunately, because of the durability update, but it's still a really good option on her. So yeah. As you can see here, we're just getting the mid turret. We got the mid turret. And now I want to try and apply a little bit more pressure by pushing mid lane. And yeah, so I pushed mid lane, guys, even though I know that there's a huge fight going on in top lane right now. It's, yeah, a little bit ridiculous, the fight going on in top lane. But yeah, I try and push the mid lane as much as possible. So yeah, Bel'Veth is like, listen, we got to go grab this Ahri, but my jungler says no. Unfortunately, this is a very bad fight for us because we tried to get Rift Heralds to take it off of, you know, we try and steal it off of them, but unfortunately we can't. Bel'Veth is really strong with what's it called, the void creatures on the jungle. So that's why we didn't want her to get them. But alas, 'twas all to a failed. I don't know what word comes next. It was all a failed attempt, basically, guys. So yeah. Our top lane, it's a little bit annoying because we all kind of went in one by one. Like, I went in as soon as our jungler died, and then our top laner went in as soon as our jungler was just not there, and then I went in afterwards. So honestly, it was a very big misplay from all of us there. So yeah. Like, at this point, I was like, damn, Bel'Veth kind of low, but then I'm like, nah, I missed the charm. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let me try and steal the rift. But it doesn't work because they weren't damaging the rift low enough. It didn't get low enough, which was unfortunate. So I give Bel'Veth a stack, and I also I think I give her a bounty, or was no, my bounty might have already disappeared, to be fair. Yeah. But now we get a needlessly large rod, guys. Needlessly large rod is good because, you know, it's needlessly large and it's a rod that gives us 60 ability power. So yeah, Bel'Veth kind of did it, just explode us. Bel'Veth is really strong late game, to be fair, but Trundle is also quite strong into Bel'Veth, so it's not that it's actually not a bad idea. Zeri gets the shutdown on Bel'Veth, which is actually good because Zeri late game now is actually quite strong. So yeah. At this point, guys, they did push mid lane, and I was like, damn, they can't be doing my job for me. They need to be the ones safeguarding their turret, not the other way around. So yeah. Yeah, unfortunately our Zeri does die here, but that's only because I didn't roam down with the Zeri. I wanted to push the mid lane a bit more. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that our Zeri died there. Yeah, it's just a tad bit unfortunate. Yeah, I wasn't really going for the Pike, guys. I thought Pike might have just ran off, and I decided to run down river anyway. And I heard that he was there, so I decided, you know what, let's go. And then he backed, so I was like, damn. Bit too slow on that one, Chief. So, yeah. Again, at this point, instead of roaming top, because I know that isn't going to end well for me, because it's just one of us, and I see Pyke roaming top anyway. So, yeah. I just decide, you know what, let's just stay mid lane and see how low I can get the turret. And actually apply more pressure on the map there. So, yeah, unfortunately, the entire wave is here. Bel'Veth is also here. I'm not really afraid of Bel'Veth, guys. I'm really not. So, yeah. Bel'Veth, in my mind, is not really scary. I do actually try and go for a prediction charm here, but it turns out she wasn't going down there. She went straight instead. So I just decided, nah. At this point, it's my turn to run down. Really good ult from Pyke. I see what he was trying to do. Close the gap there, and yeah, it worked. Yeah, unfortunately, Bel'Veth shows up again because, you know, the entire team just loves to stick around each other. I mean, that is what you're meant to do at the end of the day. I tried to go for a follow-up charm just to see if they walked forward, but none of them stepped forward, so yeah, it's a slight little bit unfortunate there. Dragon is not spawning anytime soon, I don't think. At this point, guys, I just decide to back because there's nothing on the map for me to really do. No one is low enough to assassinate, so I just decide, you know what, right now the game's in a neutral, so I may as well just back and see where this goes. And I managed to grab myself a Hextech Alternator. Now, Hextech Alternator is a good item because Hextech Alternator just gives you explosion damage when you fire off an ability. I believe it has a 40-second cooldown, except, yeah, I think it's 40-second cooldown. Yeah, we see Ezreal as well as, what's her name, Bel'Veth is pushing mid lane. I tried to charm the Bel'Veth to see what I can do, but unfortunately, there is, she's too fast. She's just too quick. So, yeah. And she also seems to have a lot of tenacity, because that was pretty fast. Yeah, we can see that Ezreal is unfortunately stealing our jungle. He doesn't actually get the big one, but yeah, we get his E out, which isn't really that big of a difference, especially now. Because late game Ezreal will have his E up like every 10 seconds or something. Same cooldown as my E, to be fair, as Ahri's E, so yeah. I hate the fact that Malzhar can just do that. It's actually kind of annoying, but it is what it is. What can we do? Also, guys, you can see that I am using Charm to farm. Honestly, using Charm to actually help your farm is actually not a bad idea because, number one, Charm actually disables the minions, and number two, it also does help deal a little bit of damage. It's a bit like, you know, auto reset kind of, so yeah. We all go for the Baron because we know how dangerous the Baron would be in the other team's hands, especially with Bel'Veth on their team, so yeah. This Baron fight actually goes quite successful for us. I mean, we do get the Baron, we kill most of them, so yeah. I believe, Kayle does die. This huge team fight here was definitely not good for them. Yeah, they all do die, and because I'm so far ahead, guys, I can just do this. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because I do die here. Pyke's flash again. Yeah, Pyke does flash again. My Q does kill Malzhar, but it's annoying because Pyke managed to survive. In fact, honestly, if Pyke was going the normal lethality build, I probably would have been able to kill him a load of extra times this game, but because he's going like Evan Shroud, it works, to be fair. Pyke, Evan Shroud on Pyke genuinely does work. It's really, really strong because Pyke just cannot die, and couple that with his regenerative passive, it's just so, so strong. But one good thing about that fight, though, is that, number one, I believe we have 2 or 3 of our team still with Baron buff, and we also managed to get their bottom inhibitor. So honestly, it's actually not a bad. It's not a bad fight for us. So yeah, definitely worth. At this point, guys, we do have Shadow Flame, so now we should be penetrating through their magic resistance without a problem. But then again, everyone is much tankier, so I guess there's that. Yeah. Malzhar, no one on their team actually has magic resist, so I don't think they do anyway. I mean, Pyke definitely does through Evan Shroud, but I don't think anyone on their team actually has magic resist, so yeah. Malzhar even got Zhonya's Hourglass, so, I mean, Zhonya's Hourglass is pretty good into Ahri, I mean, into anyone, really. we don't talk about the fact that I didn't get those minions. We don't talk about that. The reason I didn't is because I saw a very lovely fight going on over here, and I decided let's clean it up. I get the Malzhar. I tried to kill the Pike, but unfortunately he E's and you know, you guys could see what I did there. I tried to ult and then E him right into me, which probably wouldn't have been a great idea because you don't really want people in that distance on Ahri, but I mean, I couldn't really go the other way because I was afraid that someone else might have been there. I mean, Ezreal could have been there, but then I saw Ezreal was over here. So yeah, I managed to burn his flash here. He flashes over. I don't know why, but he does flash over. I guess it's because he didn't know where everyone else was. So yeah. Or I guess he just didn't want to take the long way around because that would have been detrimental. But yeah, my E for his flash, definitely worth in my books. So yeah, we also have Ocean Soul at this point, guys. I forgot to mention. Ocean Soul is really strong on Trundle as well as Jax, as well as on Swain, because it just gives them so much more healing in combat. So yeah, and because they all build like bruisery kind of items, right? It's really, really strong on them all. With this build on Ahri, it's actually not a bad build. It's actually not a bad dragon on this build for Ahri either, because I do go health AP items as well. So yeah, I mean, the next AP item I'm going is a straight magic pen item. I don't understand how my charm misses here. It does not make any sense. Alas, we get the kill anyway. Jax gets the kill, and that's actually good because Jax is strong into the late game, so giving him a shutdown is just really good anyway. We get another Baron here. Also, guys, I have forgotten to say, but I do apologize about the quality because, you know, I've mentioned this time and time again, but potato PC things. Pike tries to steal it, but Zeri just swoops in to finish him off. Well, finish him off? I'm not so sure. Yeah, he does get away. I thought so. But yeah, we decide, let's go kill Malzhar because Malzahar's annoying. No one likes him. Yeah, Pike does get away again, so yeah. The only time Pike actually dies in this game is the time where I actually managed to get the kill on him. That's the only time he dies. So yeah, he's been playing really, really well, the Pike. Honestly, he does look like a good Pike as well. I actually did see in the loading screen, he had about 700,000 points on Pike. Yeah, and he's Mastery 7, so really good. We play a little bit of ping pong with the Kale here. She just gets completely detonated by me as well as the Swain because my charm into his E, which pulled her the other way. So it was a little bit like, there was a bit of ping pong going on over there with the Kale and the Swain and me. So yeah. I'm like, right, I need to base. I decide to grab my Void Staff after purchasing a Blighting Jewel. Now, Void Staff did actually get nerfed this patch, guys, but it's the only AP, well, it's really the only AP item that you would build on Ahri that actually did get nerfed. Everfrost actually did also get nerfed, but I never really liked Everfrost in the first place. I'm not really a huge fan of it. Not because I can't use the active, but because I feel as though the other mythics are just much more worth. Yeah, you can chain your CC, but you know, like in teamfight, that's really, really good. But I feel as though you just get so much more value out of Crown and even Luden's and Liandry's Anguish as well. So yeah, that's why, you know, I just decide let's not even go Everfrost. I have tried it, and Everfrost and me just don't really click. Even if I do manage to land a full combo, I just feel as though, you know, it's just lacking. So yeah. And it's been nerfed this patch as well. So yeah, anyway guys, that's basically been the end of the game. I have been Carvinus14 and still am, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.